Hey, I'm Maybe Burke, and you're watching Makeup for Lost Time. This is my series for trans women and other people who feel like they missed a few classes when it came to learning about makeup. And today we're going to be talking about primer, which is a very optional step of your routine. I have a few primers, but I really don't even touch them anymore. And that's because there's really no primer that can replace a good, consistent skincare routine, and we talked about skincare last week. And since I do have pretty balanced skin, I'm not really looking to a primer to help me with application or longevity. But if you are looking to address certain concerns, primers can be helpful for you. So I'm not saying you should never use a primer, I'm just saying I don't. The reality is my skincare works as a primer. Hydrating primers and things are kind of superfluous when you just have a good moisturizer and an SPF that can work as a primer. If you are very oily or you are experiencing your makeup slipping off of your face, a mattifying primer can be really helpful. And or if you're not getting long wear out of your makeup and even setting sprays aren't really helping, something that has like a lot of grip and tack to it is going to be helpful to keep the makeup on longer. But that's it. I mean, there are like color correcting primers, but honestly, I find it works better to just color correct spots with what you're working with. You don't want to use the whole face of that unless you do have something you want to color correct across your whole face. I'm having a weird deja vu right now. I talk about makeup a lot, that makes sense. But really, applying a primer before a foundation can be helpful if you need it for one of those concerns. But there's not much of a tutorial to do. You just like put it on your face. Oh, this is a boring one. Ooh, I lied. I do use a primer and a base when I do eyeshadow. And we'll talk more about that as we do other looks. But getting a base where your eyes are creasing a lot and things like that is helpful and useful. And some people will use a face primer just like in certain areas across their T-zone or where they're oily. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say about primers. I don't really use them. And so this isn't necessarily a tutorial so much as a public service announcement that sometimes you just don't need the primer. And to always do the makeup that works for you. If your makeup lasts just fine without a primer, there's really no need to put it on. If you find a primer you really like and you'd like how your makeup turns out better with that primer, use the primer. Okay? Okay. Let's get into some technique now. Well, not now. Next week, as we make up for lost time.